Welcome back to another edition of the Chant Pod presented by Revolution Mortgage. I'm Sam Wiederhaft. This week, we've got a sub coming off the bench for me. Our own Joanne Bethea talked with men's basketball head coach Justin Gray about his first season at the helm and looking forward to the future of this program. After that, we'll talk about the week to come in Teal Nation because, of course, there's plenty of action. But for now, here's Joanne and Coach Gray.
What's up, Teal Nation? Welcome to another episode of the Chant Pod brought to you by Revolution Mortgage. And on today's episode, we have men's basketball head coach Justin Gray. We really appreciate you being here and, talking about you have year one under your belt. What did you learn from this season?
Yeah, one thing I learned is Teal Nation is passionate, right? And that's something that I was really excited about and getting to sort of introduce myself and our culture and our brand of basketball. I also learned a lot about the league, right? We got a lot of good coaches. There's a lot of talented athletes that play in the league. And just understanding the growth that we can have and we had, right? And so it was an exciting year one, not the results that we wanted on a lot of those games, but we won in the long run because the culture that we've built, the atmospheres that we sort of created at HTC, it's nothing but we can build on it. And I'm excited about that.
Yeah, you just mentioned culture. How would you describe the culture of Coastal basketball?
Yeah, I think it's something where as a coaching staff, we want to make sure that we're having real impacts on our guys. We building real relationships with them as well. And we building confidence and faith in them, and I think we do those things throughout the year about with how we treat them. But we understand that we want to be in a culture that wins, right? We want to be in one that competes and plays as hard as we possibly can, night in and night out. And I thought our guys did a great job of buying into that. And they practiced hard. No matter what the results were, every single time we came into practice, they was ready to go. Yep. Every game that we came out and competed, they gave their very best. And as a coach, that's all you can really ask is, you believe in your guys and they come out and they give you the very best.
Yeah. You are no stranger to winning culture. Winthrop, Western Carolina, you really turned those programs around. Talk to us about what you did at those universities to build a winning culture.
Yeah, first of all, we don't talk about the school that's in Rock Hill like that. But no, I mean, I've been blessed. What I've understood is it starts with administration, right? You have an administration that's behind you, that backs you. Then it's our coaching staff, coming up with good strategies and making sure that we're getting our guys prepared to play. And then obviously it's the players, right? And we're in a business where we understand when it doesn't go well, somebody has to take the brunt of that. But it's also having the vision to be able to get out there and know what you have to do to build it. And I think, at all those, those other two schools, we had a vision and a plan. And truthfully, year one where we were at Western, it was sort of similar to here. But we had the right mojo going into it. We had the right culture building. And then we just had to find the right ones that want to be a part of it. And from there, we just had it rolling.
What did you learn from your experience at Western Carolina and how to build a winning culture that you can bring here to Coastal?
Yeah, I know first it's not all about me.
Yeah.
Right? It's the people around us. Yeah. Right? And so obviously it's the coaching staff. It's the fans that come out. It's the students that come out. It's our student athletes. It's the community. Any way that we can build, we're not playing an individual sport, so we need everybody to be a part of it. Yeah. Anytime we can build some camaraderie and have people wanting to make memories and wanting to have good moments. And ultimately, that's what we're really preparing for is it's not if it's going to happen, it's when it's going to happen. Yeah. But we got to be ready for that win. And we put in work every single day. We're working now tirelessly. The season is over, but guess what?
It's never over.
Never over, right? And that's okay. I enjoy what I'm doing. My staff enjoys what they're doing. We're blessed. And we're just excited for the challenge.
Before the season, to dive a little bit more into the culture, I remember talking with JB and him saying that everybody even would get up and make their bed. And I think y'all had a phrase that they
ain't no telling what them dudes are talking about.
But just the fact that you...
Especially if you got it from JB, that's
true,
hilarious.
Very true. That man's a character. Great person to have on in front of the camera.
We love him.
But, you are also known for not just building winning athletes on the court, but off the court. So, one, what do you do to build them up off the court? And then two, why should an athlete choose to come to Coastal?
Yeah, I think some of the things that we do is just let them know that it's not only basketball that it's about, right? And I think sometimes you get sort of, blocked in and just being an athlete, and you try to make sure that those guys understand that they're more than athletes. So the academic side, a part of it is just as important. What they can do for someone else is important, and just trying to have a sense of humility, in all the things. Because these guys these days, we might like to call them spoiled at times, but they're getting what they deserve, right? And it's a different age in college sports, and we're behind them. But I also want them to have it's a responsibility that comes with those things. And the second part was what was?
Well, I mean, you were a college basketball player. So from your perspective, why should an athlete choose to come play at Coastal?
I mean, first of all, there's no better place to play, right? No better place to live than being right here on the coast. The fans that come out and support us get to play for me. I think that's
big selling point.
That's a big selling point too, as well. But no, seriously, we really try to pour into our guys, right? And we try to make sure that the families feel involved as well. In this nature where it's really transactional, it seems like at times, we try to be more transformational, right? And helping them sort of continue to grow and get them ready for the next stage of life.
Yeah. I think Teal Nation could feel that. I mean, they came out in numbers never seen before this year. How important is it to have the fans show up at HTC for the games?
I mean, it was beautiful to see their buy-in, right? But that was just the beginning, right? And we have to start somewhere, and it was exciting to have those crowds that we have. But every time I stand there and I look for, we're doing the national anthem, or I'm looking around, all I can think about is, man, one day it's going to be a hard ticket to get.
Yeah,
right? And
you are so
right. People will be calling and begging to get in, and Coach, I need this. And we only get there by the continued support that we have behind our great leadership, administration, and all the hard work that our staff puts in, but more importantly, the players, right? And they deserve to play in front of a sold-out arena. And have an atmosphere that is right on top of them. And we love it when our student athletes come out and support us, the other student athletes, because they know what it's like to prepare, to go into a game and to have the fans behind you. So we're super excited. And that's another reason why we go out I was just at lacrosse yesterday, and I was out at beach volleyball, because they support us, right? And we wear teal. It's not just, Coach Gray it's all the staffs, it's all the teams. We are in this together. So I really, really do love the support that we get from everyone.
Is that a culture, where all those sports support one another? Have you seen that before?
Yeah, that's the only way I know how to do it. I'm being honest, is, I've always played team sports. Yeah. So I've always been one that, support the other sports. Even when I was in college and my other past universities, make sure the guys went out and showed support. And it's something where I saw that it sparked, and then it was fun to go to the games. It was, you see Gray running around the court at your games, and then guess what? He running around the field out there at football.
Yeah, so I saw you at baseball.
Yeah, I mean, it's everywhere. So it's like being able to come out and to support each other is vital.
Yeah. You mentioned, your first year at Western Carolina, not ideal. Maybe this past year you would have liked to have seen more success. But you as a coach know Rome isn't built in a day. But for maybe people that don't understand that, what is your message to them?
Yeah, I just think you can't run or hide when things aren't going your way.
Yeah.
Like, the reality of it is you prepare, you go out and compete, you live everything out there, and then you have no excuses, no regrets. And I'm going to be honest, I have no excuses or regrets. Whatever happened this year was supposed to happen for us, because it's just set up for a greater thing on the backside, and the return of it and all the work that we put in, we'll be able to see as time comes. And my faith is super important to me. And I believe in prayer. We pray, but we also prepare, right? And the work that we put in, we know at some point, it's not if it's going to happen, it's when it's going to happen, right? And so we truly do believe in that. We try to do things the right way. And there's no better place to do that than right here.
Yeah. Is there anything from year one that you want to leave in the past? And then is there anything from year one that you want to continue to take with you?
No, I again, I don't really have any regrets. Obviously, I'd take a couple more wins if the ball popped in. But outside of that,
I mean, you're building a great foundation.
We learned so much. I think that's something that people take for granted. Is even if you win, you still have to learn something. But definitely when you lose, you can learn some things. And I thought throughout the year we did that. I thought we made some adjustments. But more importantly, it's like, the guys that need to be here, we want them to be here, right? And the ones that, need to move on, then, we wish them the best.
Yeah. What can we expect to see from the future of Coastal basketball?
Yeah, it'll be, exciting, I think, for us to make sure that we continue to build the fan engagement, but more importantly, getting players in here that want to be here, that leave everything out there every single night. Colin Granger was probably one of my favorite guys because he played extremely hard.
Yeah.
And he'd make some mistakes. He'd do some things that'll drive me nuts or any coach's nuts. But at the end of the day, I knew that he was going to prepare the right way and he was going to play as hard as he possibly can, right? And we're looking for those guys. And we know that they're out there. But more importantly, the ones that we're retaining, we want to be able to build something. I think retention is important in a world that is not so much that as of now, but we want guys to be able to grow, and say from my first year to my second year, this is what happened, right? And I think when we do that, it'll be more enticing to other players to stick around as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Coach, for your time and being
Always.
here with us today, and best of luck in the off season.
Always.
Sounds like you're already working hard. So
We're working.
Thank you, Joanne, for stepping in, and Coach Gray for the awesome interview and coming back to the Chant Pod. The action is not finished on the hardwood. After making it to the Sun Belt Tournament semifinals, women's basketball has earned a bid to the WNIT, and guess what? That first game is at home. The Chants are hosting Campbell, who made it to the CAA championship in their conference tournament, and the game is on Thursday at 6 o'clock at the HTC Center. Postseason basketball in Conway is something I can certainly get used to. I'm excited. Teal Nation is very excited. So make sure you head to the HTC and see the Chants continue their season. The game will also be on ESPN+. Let's swing around to Springsbrook Stadium. The 24th-ranked Chanticleer baseball team swept their Sun Belt opening series over Georgia Southern to improve to 15-5. They've got a midweek game also against Campbell on Tuesday at 6 on the road. And then it's their first road series in Sun Belt play against number 25 Troy, Friday through Sunday, which should be a really good three-game set. Chanticleer softball also started Sunbelt play after their incredible upset of number 9 South Carolina last week. They dropped 2 of 3 games against Troy over the weekend, and they'll take their 23-6 record against UNCW on Tuesday at home at 4 o'clock. And then it's a 3-game series with Texas State over the weekend at St. John Stadium for their conference home opener. Men's tennis grabbed a win over Troy on Sunday in Conway, and they'll be on the road against JMU on Friday, and then another road match with ODU on Sunday. Women's tennis is undefeated in Sunbelt play so far and will match up with Elon on Tuesday in Conway. Then they hit the road for matches against Arkansas State on Saturday and ULM on Sunday. Men's golf is hitting the links in Myrtle Beach this week for the General James Hackler Championship that'll conclude on Tuesday. And women's golf will be playing in the City of Oaks Collegiate this weekend in Raleigh, North Carolina. So that will conclude this week's episode of the Chant Pod. Would like to thank Joanne for stepping in and Coach Gray for coming on the Chant Pod for the second time, officially a friend of the podcast. Let's have a great week, Teal Nation. I'm Sam Wiederhaft signing off. Chant's up.